All right, glad to have you join us. This is 32 FM 94.9. It's the morning of the 9th of September 2023. This is the Break of Dawn paper review for the weekend. And yes, we'll be taking a look at the major stories coming out of the papers this morning. I have me a bunch of papers: the Punch, the Nigerian Tribune, the Guardian, the Premium Times, the Nation, the Daily Post, and a bunch of other papers. I'll start off with the major headlines out of the Punch newspaper this morning. Nigerian embassies in financial crisis as federal government delays funds is the big story this morning out of the Punch. Neymar beats Pele's record to becomes Brazil's all-time top scorer. Troops arrest terrorist suppliers with 3 million naira. Foods recover weapons. Foye. CSO's right Banji. Police demand justice. Bandits burn parish home. Seminarian alive in Kaduna. A tragic one there out of the Punch. CBN's currency swap hits $12 billion amid weak reserves. There's another headline there. More headlines here. Atiku Obi gets certified true copy. Prepare appeal. Ex-RCCG pastor installed as shown begins 7-day rites. All right, more headlines out of the Punch newspaper. Akeredolu resumes office, writes assembly. If a man cheats on me, I'll retaliate. Dorothy. That's talking entertainment out of the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's get you some other headlines here. Business, CBN's currency swap hits $12 billion. Already took that one. Telemarketers risk prosecution over illegal use of subscriber numbers. And that's according to the NCC. Nigerian people wins Toyota contest is another headline there. 100 days, PDP slams LP chairman over Delta governor's criticism. Why I will pursue justice at Supreme Court. That's credited to Peter Obi. Elsewhere, Presidential Poll Tribunal, words on Mabel. If you're interested, you can find that one from the pages of the Punch this morning. All right, over to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Aircraft skids off Lagos airport runway. It's talking, or you might say, aviation-related story there out of the Nigerian Tribune. Akeredolu resumes duty, writes under assembly. Federal government expresses renewed commitment to eradicate illiteracy in Nigeria. Shoun of Ogbomoso kingmakers install Gandhi Afolabi Laoye. More stories out of the Nigerian Tribune now. Lagos megapolis with world's worst traffic gets metro after 12-year wait. Winning over burnout in marriage is a piece there from the Nigerian Tribune. How Nigerian social enterprise impacted young Africans in Kenya. All right, a couple of more stories from the Nigerian Tribune before we take a look at another paper. Tribunal judgment, 14 days to file appeal. PEPC won't release certified true copy at Atiku. Of course, there's an update to that one from the Punch newspaper this morning. They have gotten that certified copy of the judgment. That's as reported again by the Punch newspaper. Over to the Guardian newspaper now. Take this story. Atiku decries tribunal's delay in releasing judgment copies. Ogun local government funds allocation, facts and figures as against fallacy. Another one here. Niger Delta youths back NNPCL over pipeline surveillance contract. Niger Delta youths back NNPCL over pipeline surveillance contract. Elsewhere, Rivers, man allegedly kills father over money for drugs. NSCDC alerts on fake recruitment letters. Mockery counters Rufai Hussaini, backs Abati on NSAR's coverage. Tribunal nullifies election of LP's Enugu rep, declares PDP candidate winner. And this one here. EFCC arrests 40 suspected internet fraudsters in Warri, Delta State. All right, over to the Premium Times newspaper. Analysis: inside details of climate change pact brokered in Nairobi. EU ECOWAS reports on Nigerian elections have no judicial value. Senior judge says their court verdict: don't waste your resources going to Supreme Court. Governor Bello tells Atiku. Obi, PEPC judgment. Peter Obi heads to Supreme Court. Atiku rejects presidential election court judgment, heads to Supreme Court. Why trade between Nigeria and Finland is low. Ambassador. More stories here. Nigerian journalist detained in Benin Republic released. Tribunal judgment may erode progress made in use of technology in elections. Situation room there. Kuka rules ignorance of history by young Nigerians as Kolade and Yauku honored in Lagos. Governor Akeredolu resumes office after 3-month medical leave. Residents give Ogun Council boss 48 hours to account for council funds. Elumelu urges Indians to invest in Nigeria. More stories here from the Premium Times. This one says Nigerian government stops payment of road contractors in Southeast. Cyber attackers used U.S. company to crash media sites in Nigeria. Others. Ekiti Speaker warns over refusal of government officials to honor lawmakers' summons. Abandoned projects. Wike promises to block FCT financial leakages. Nigeria poor in management and leadership. Tinubu tells Nigerians in India. Nigeria poor in management and leadership. Tinubu tells Nigerians in India. Atiku didn't congratulate Tinubu. Aid sit at home. Engagement with Nnamdi Kanu yielding results. That's according to a rep panel member there. Tribunal affirms Adeola as Ogun West senator. Some of the headlines out of the Premium Times this morning. All right, over to the Nation newspaper. 17 feared dead as Kano capsizes in Damoa. Akeredolu resumes official duties, says he will complete tenure. Tears tight security as late Pastor Taiwo Dukoya's funeral rites begin. It's another headline there from the Nation. Elsewhere, I slept with my... Okay, let's leave that one alone. Angola qualify for AFCON for 9th time is a story there. Talking sports from the Nation. Family demands corpse of Nigerian lady who died traveling to London. Man kills wife over disagreement on food in Edo. Turkish court jails cryptocurrency boss. 11,196 years. That's an interesting one. You can find details of that from the Nation newspaper. EFCC returns property to American victim of internet fraud. U.S. repositions forces in Niger as Burkina Faso deploys military units. Take some other headlines here from the Nation editorial piece here. Dream come true. Democracy is never a sprint, but a marathon. Expectations from 2003 G20 summit. All right, from the Daily Post newspaper this morning, PEPC wants Supreme Court to disqualify my appeal. Atiku cries out. Enugu Tribunal sacks LP federal lawmaker. Kiridulu Rights Undo Assembly officially resumes duty. It's common to many of the papers this morning, that one. Tribunal sacks APC's Udende, declares Suswam of PDP winner in Benue Northeast. Don't allow enemies portray Igbos as criminals, Governor Inwifuru tells Ohanese. Insecurity Zamfara government directs security chiefs to deploy heavy security on volatile highways. Governor Sani orders manhunt for perpetrators of recent attack in Zango Kataf. Traditional rulers inviting relatives to kidnap residents, Emir of Ningi alleges. And GOC underscores relevance of information sharing. I'll take that particular one again. It says GOC underscores relevance of information sharing in fight against crime in Niger Delta. Efforts to end insurgency in Anambra succeeding. CP. Other stories here, talking sports now. Boniface wins Rookie of the Month award, and that's related to the Bundesliga. Enyimba's African Football League participation excites Eze. That's also sports related from the Daily Post newspaper. This one. All right, from the Daily Trust, Egypt Air breaks silence on death of London-bound Nigerian passenger. Panic as aircraft overshoots runway at Lagos Airport. A London-bound Nigerian passenger dies aboard Egypt Air flight. Cops dumped in Cairo. 9 senators rep sacked so far as tribunal race against time. How I nurtured my son living with Down syndrome to Paralympic champion. It's another one there. Seminarian killed as gunmen set Catholic parish house ablaze in Kaduna. Suspected power cable vandal electrocuted. Oluwo congratulates new shown of Ogbomosho. Tribunal returns Gabriel Suswam to Senate. Palliatives. Why photograph of Governor Fintiri is on bags of rice aid. Why photograph of Governor Fintiri is on bags of rice aid. Editorial, Musawa should defer ministerial duties to complete NYC. Here's a piece here from the Daily Trust. House splitting of ministries left workers in confusion. House splitting of ministries left workers in confusion. Well, we'll take some business-related stories here. This is the best time to invest in Nigeria. Ilumelu tells Indian investors. 9 senators. Okay, already took that one. And also Oxfam. Others want tax policies review to tackle corruption, poverty. All right, I move over to the Vanguard. Some headlines here. NLC draws battle line over Wike's demolition plan in Abuja. Alleged oil bunkering. Benko Cocoa community fallout with Tompolo's Tantita. Why interest in renewed rail travel is waning is another one there. Lagos Blue Railway. Sanwo-Olu as conductor heralds hope for residents. United Nigeria reacts after aircraft skids off runway in Lagos. Nigeria will be a fast-growing economy with Tinubu. Ambassador Ajayi. Enugu ex-reign governor embarks 100 days of leadership. NLC draws battle line over Wike's demolition plan. Already took that one. After PT judgment, what's next for Nigerian electoral system? Jonathan's national integration call. Organizational culture and performance. Okoro's panacea for merger failures. All right, so here's some column pieces from the Vanguard this morning. Babysitting France in Africa by Owe Lakemfa. Okay, Owe Lakemfa. Time to take a positive look at illegal refineries by Dekoya. If you're so interested, you can take a look at those pieces from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. All right, we bring you details of some of the stories from the Punch now. Nigerian embassies in financial crisis as federal government delays funds. Now we understand that the Nigerian foreign missions are currently facing a financial crisis following the delay in the release of their capital and overhead votes by the federal government. Saturday Punch learned that the overhead vote for the second half of 2023, which should have been paid since June, was still pending, putting the missions in a dire strait. Correspondents of the Punch reliably gathered that the diplomats and foreign service officers at the 109 diplomatic missions, which include 97 embassies and 12 consulates all over the world, are worried about the implication of a cash crunch on the operation of the missions and staff well-being. For more details, you find that one out of the Punch. Now, this one reads, Akeredolu resumes office, writes Assembly. Hours after his return from medical vacation, the Edo State Governor, Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu, on Friday said he had resumed work. In a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Mr. Richard Olatunde, Akeredolu affirmed that he was back in the country and that he would begin work immediately. Akeredolu, who was on medical vacation in Germany for about 3 months, returned to the country on Thursday and headed to his Ibadan residence. He is, however, expected back to the state soon. For more details, you find that in all of the papers, many of the papers, in many of the dailies today. So let's take a look at another headline here. Atiku Obi gets certified true copy, prepare appeal. And that's the latest update as regards the situation, the fallout of the judgment, the PEPC judgment. Now, the story goes that the legal teams of the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party and Labour Party in the February 25, 2023 presidential election, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, respectively, on Friday, confirmed that they had received the certified true copies of the judgment of the Presidential Election Petition Court. The PPC had on Wednesday delivered a 12-hour judgment on the appeals arising from the presidential election, upholding the election of President Bola Tinubu. Atiku and Obi had rejected the court's judgment, vowing to approach the Supreme Court. Obi's lead counsel, Dr. Levi Uzochukwu, disclosed to a correspondent of the Punch on telephone that he had received a copy of the judgment. Once again, the update on that particular story. The headline, Atiku Obi gets certified true copy, prepare appeal. All right, this one from the Premium Times reads, Court verdict, don't waste your resources going to Supreme Court. Governor Bello tells Atiku. Obi Governor Yaya Bello of Kogi State has urged Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi not to appeal the verdict of the Presidential Election Petition Court, affirming President Bola Tinubu's victory, saying they would only end up wasting their resources. Mr. Bello stated this in an interview with State House correspondents on Thursday in Abuja. The PPC had on Wednesday, in a unanimous decision, dismissed the petitions of Atiku and Peter Obi. Atiku already rejected the outcome of the tribunal, instructed his lawyers to proceed on appeal. For more details, you find that in the pages of the Premium Times. So with the headline, "Don't waste your resources going to Supreme Court. Governor Bello tells Atiku will be." All right, another one here from the Premium Times. EU, ECOWAS reports on Nigerian elections have no judicial value. Senior judge although the European Union and ECOWAS delegations are accredited to observe Nigeria's elections, their reports on the elections are valueless and inadmissible in Nigerian courts, a senior judge ruled on Wednesday. Moses Ugo, a judge of Nigeria's second highest court, the Court of Appeal, said this while reading his ruling as a member of the Presidential Election Petition Court. Premium Times reported how the five-member panel on the PPC dismissed the appeals filed by three opposition parties against the election of President Bola Tinubu. While declaring support for his fellow judges on the panel, Mr. Ugo spoke on why the EU and ECOWAS reports, which criticized parts of the 2023 presidential election, was inadmissible in court. The EU-EOM report on the 2023 presidential election, and I dare to add, even the ECOWAS report of the same elections tendered by second and third respondents, is completely valueless and inadmissible, he said. The EU-EOM, in its final report on the 2023 presidential election, said though the elections show the commitment of Nigerians to democracy, it also exposed enduring systemic weaknesses and therefore signaled the need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability. All right, once again, that headline out of the Premium Times: EU ECOWAS reports on Nigerian elections have no judicial value. Senior judge. All right, from the Daily Trust, I have this one. Why photograph of Governor Fintiri is on bags of rice aid. And of course, that's related to the palliatives being distributed across states. Now, Edgar Amos, the Chief of Staff to Governor Madu Fintiri of Adamawa State, has defended the decision to put the picture of the governor on bags of rice distributed to the public as palliatives. Due to the hardship occasioned by the removal of fuel subsidy, the federal government had released money and food items to states. Governors have been distributing the items and handing out money to residents of their states, though there has been a controversy on the worth of the things being given out. In an interview with a TV station, Amos said the picture of the governor was put on sacks of rice to ensure that the food items were not diverted or sold on the black market. He said, and I quote, "It's an argument for those who are already comfortable. By the way, we see the photographs of Tinubu in all the offices of the country. Whether you voted for Tinubu or not, he's the president of Nigeria and you have his photographs. This is the governor of Adamawa State. Whether you voted for him or not, you have his photographs in the offices. By the way, it has advantages. It means that somebody who wants to go and sell it in the market will not do so because it is already branded. It is a way of checking the abuse in the process," he says. And that particular one, once again, why photograph of Governor Fintiri is on bags of rice aid. Alright, you're welcome to be my analyst this morning. You can, of course, calling on the show and give your reactions to some of the stories in the papers this morning. 0705 5000 949 0809 7000 949. We're live on Facebook as well. You can drop your thoughts on Facebook. 0705 5949 0809 7949 is the number to calling to the studios this morning. Here's a report from the Daily Trust. 9 senators, reps sacked so far as tribunal race against time. Now, the report here reads that so far, 9 members of the National Assembly, senators, and members of the House of Representatives have been sacked by election tribunals in the states. Those who won at the tribunals are celebrating, while most of those removed have rejected the verdicts and vowed to go to Court of Appeal to seek redress. This is even as dozens of judges assigned to handle litigations in 36 states of the Federation are racing against time to beat the deadline set by the Electoral Act 2002 as amended. And while the judges are putting their verdicts together for delivery, dozens of legislators that have been inaugurated but have cases in the courts are anxiously awaiting the outcomes, with some saying they have nothing to fear, while others say they are going through emotional and psychological stress in view of the fact that they now have divided attention. The senators and members said while they had a lot on their tables in the National Assembly, they feared that anything could happen back home at the tribunals. So once again, 9 senators, reps sacked so far as tribunal race against time. All right, 0705 5000 949 0829 7949. We're live on Facebook once again. That's 32FM 949 Ibadan on Facebook. You can drop your comments and your contributions to the conversation this morning on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube as well. Okay, I'll take some messages on Facebook now. Ayo Fagbemi says, since 2015, when APC took over till now, there's nothing like democracy again. And Tinubu, 100 days of office. Okay, I'll get back to that one in a moment. Lost that one there. Okay, Babatunde says, whenever election petition favors a candidate, it is victory for democracy. But if otherwise, it is injustice. Let the candidates dissatisfied with the judgment move to the next phase, which is the Supreme Court. Okay, why will governors be putting their pictures on palliative bags of rice? Is palliative now a means of campaign? Why is it that governors are so insensitive? As if the fund for procurement belongs to him. He should have put the logo of the state instead of a personal picture. All right, that's a reaction to that particular report out of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Reports that Governor Amadu Fintiri of Adamawa State has his picture on bags of rice. Of course, the palliatives being shared across the state there. Okay, what's your reaction to that? What do you think about that particular headlines amidst the bunch of other headlines? The situation with the PEPT judgment, Atiku and Peter Obi have received documents that would enhance or aid their next move, which is the Apex Court, going to the Apex Court to seek redress as regards the judgment by the PEPC. So those are some of the talking points in the papers this morning. All right, Ajiba Abiodun on Facebook says the opposition parties are just wasting their money. 2027 is a best time, he says. Okay, Raja Afiz Abiola says, good morning. About rejection of presidential tribunal judgment by both Peter Obi and Atiku, honestly, I don't see anything wrong in challenging this verdict in Supreme Court as much as it is part of the process. But these people should not expect anything different, from what they had at the Court of Appeal. What they need to do now is to observe where they got it wrong in last election, make the necessary correction, and prepare for the next election. This has gone. God bless Nigeria. Okay, once again, 0705 5949, 0809 7949. Those are the numbers. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Kenny, good morning.
Good morning.
It's okay.
Yeah, welcome.
Any the excuse that the spokesperson of INT'L is giving for putting his name on the palliative, it's funny. And why didn't they put the federal, since it came from the federal? How come it's the governor? It's all their ploys. They give lame excuses that you begin to imagine. Sometimes you question if when they talk, is it that they drink before they talk? With all due respect to them. So you begin to wonder. I think there is no excuse whatsoever. Much as we agree some of those things the states will pay back. Probably if they had put palliative without putting his picture on it, then it would have been a bit sensible.
Right.
And like somebody rightly said on the election petition, if you are not comfortable with it, there is a better option, and that is the Supreme Court. And I think that's what they've done. Let's just watch and see what will happen. Good morning. It's okay.
All right. Thank you very much. 705 5949, 0829 7949. I'll take some more reactions from Facebook in a moment. But I do spot this story here out of the Daily Post. Apparently, troops of the Nigerian Army, in collaboration with Hybrid Force, have killed 3 suspected Boko Haram terrorists in the Gwazu local government area of Borno State. The statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, on Friday noted that troops also arrested 5 terrorist logistics suppliers with foodstuffs and money. I guess you could call that progress. So 705 5949, 0809 7949. Those are the numbers to join the conversation. Okay, back to this particular message out of Facebook that I was reading before. Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Good morning, well done.
Yeah, good morning. What's your name?
Adeyemi from Ibadan.
Okay, let's hear you.
I want to contribute to the election petition.
All right, please turn down the volume on your radio, first of all.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
It's like Alhaji Atiku and it's like they're wasting time.
Sorry, you have to switch off your radio altogether. Switch off your radio altogether and call me back. Okay? 0705 5949, 0829 7949. Those are the numbers. Of course, for our international audience as well, you can call the number 0906 2000 again, Okidino Babatunde says, congratulations to Akeredolu for coming back to the country after a medical trip. Hopefully, he must have learned one thing or the other to do the needful for Ondo State. He should know that Germans put the facilities in place which he enjoyed and paid the resources of the state. Let him put such facilities in place for Ondo State for Nigerians to benefit. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, this is someone I'm calling from Abo.
All right.
Yes, concerning the Fintiri putting his poster on the palliative is totally out of it and not acceptable. I don't know what went wrong with our rulers. It seems some of them, they don't have anything in their brain. Good morning.
All right, good morning. 0705 5949 0829 7949. You can also drop your comments on Facebook once again. Okay, I'll take this one from Facebook. Since 2015, when APC took over till now, there is nothing like democracy again. And Tinubu, 100 days in office has only produced agony and penury. Nigerians are now living in hell on earth, and there's no sign at all that there's light at the end of the tunnel. May God rescue Nigerians as he rescues. Okay. All right, that's from Ayo Fagbimi. All right, see if we can take another message on the Facebook. All right. We'll get back to the Facebook messages in a moment. 0705 5949 0809 7949. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir.
This is from Oyo.
All right.
Why people blaming Fintiri for putting his picture on the palliative? He is contemplating of new election in Adamawa. He's using his for campaigning. You understand? You know, he's in tribunal. He thought if he did that, he'll be using it as a campaigning strategy for the people of Adamawa. That's our leader for you. Have a nice time. God bless you.
All right. So you don't see a problem with that particular one. It says he's campaigning. All right. Interesting. What do you think about that particular story? It's a report out of the Daily Post. Palliatives, the face of the governor, we hear is on the some of the palliatives being shared. Okay. 0705 5949 0809 7000. 949. Here's a report out of the Punch. Talking business. CBN's currency swap hits $12 billion amid weak reserves. That's the headline. Fitch Ratings has estimated the Central Bank of Nigeria's currency swap with domestic banks to be between $10 billion and $12 billion as of the end of 2022. It stated that this was 30% of the country's gross reserves at $37 billion as of 2022's end and comprised swaps with domestic banks and others. According to the International Rating Agency, this suggested that the country's net reserve position may be weaker than anticipated and emphasized its external vulnerabilities. Disclosed this in a report titled Nigeria's Weaker Reserves Highlights External Risk and Policy Challenges following the recent publication of the CBN's financial statements. All right, here's a report out of the Nation newspaper this morning. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, has disclosed the federal government's readiness to return refugees and migrants to their various homes by 2024. She said structures must be put in place to repatriate and reintegrate the internally displaced persons back into their communities. The minister said this in Maiduguri, Borno State, during her two-day working visit to the state. The minister, in a statement on Friday, September 8, by her media aide, stated that plans are underway to establish humanitarian hubs across the 774 local government areas of the state as part of measures to reach the poor. Refugees, migrants will return home by 2024, says federal government. All right, that's where I bring things to a halt this morning on the Papers Review on 32 FM 94.9. Let's continue the conversation on Facebook. Feel free to drop your comments and your reactions on Facebook, 32 FM 949 Ibadan on Facebook. My name is Kenny Durotilu. The Papers Review in Yoruba comes up at the top of the hour. So stay with us.